Hey everybody, hold on for just 1 second. Let me put this light on. There you go. Hey everybody, this is Javi, and you are watching the Bowtie Psychic here on YouTube. I'm a psychic, intuitive medium, and author who uses what in the world. Okay, I don't know what happened. Like something popped up. Um, Again, my name is Javi, and I am a psychic, intuitive medium, and author who uses divination and storytelling to help people overcome generational trauma. I also tap into inner child energy. And so, speaking of which, I am actually doing an inner child energy reading for the Pisces for the month of November. Thank you for someone, uh, you know, um, like my page and so or like my channel or whatever or subscribe to it. So thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate your love and support. Um, and so what I like to do, is tap into the intuitive reading and then tap into that energy, and then I go ahead and do Pisces or do the actual card reading. So the first thing I got was, and hello to the person who popped on. I really appreciate your energy. Um, Excuse me, allow yourself to be known so I can basically you know say hey to you. So what I got here as far as like the energy for Pisces is that I'm just got a little bit of nervousness. Okay, got a little bit of nervousness and like a lot of anxiety around Pisces. The A lot of y'all for the month of November are going through a lot of changes, and so and these are major changes. A lot of these shifts are major, and so as a result of that, you're becoming so nervous just simply because they are so very fast. So I'm just getting that this comes with it just comes with the territory of being spiritual. It comes with the territory of being very connected to spirit. I'm just getting that because these changes are so vast and so quick. Um, it's as if you feel like you don't have the opportunity to breathe. You don't have the opportunity to basically sit down and reflect on what is going on. The changes are becoming very, very quick. I'm just getting that this may have something to do with a job. This may have something to do with people in your life. This may have something to do with you letting go of something. But a lot of the time, you're just nervous for the sake of being nervous. Um, I'm also getting this feeling that you don't want to be on Earth anymore. You're not trying to hurt yourself or anything like that, but I'm definitely getting that a lot of you want to be a part of the spiritual world. Like you feel more comfortable in the woo woo world, in the woo woo. You know what I mean? You feel very comfortable, being around your ancestors, being around your ascended masters, your guides. You want to be part of that world, be plugged into that world all the time. And what Spirit is basically saying is that as much as they love your company, you can have that same sort of love and support here on Earth. Because for real, this is what you're here for. You signed up for whatever you are meant to do here on Earth. There's just so much going on. Is that I'm just getting you're using the spiritual world as a means of escape at this point, as a means of escapism, and so it can be very addicting as a result because you don't have to be around people. You don't have to be around a lot of energy of people's energies. Hey, how you doing? So that's what I'm getting from Pisces. You don't want to be around too many people's energies, and that's where the anxiety is coming from. The anxiety is coming from you absorbing other people's energy, absorbing other people's attitude problems. I'm just getting that for the most part. Like it's time for you to relax. I know just said it's Sagittarius, season. I know it's very much Sagittarius season, and so we're literally on the go. We're because of that fire energy, but Pisces, you're being told to basically relax and allow yourself to just the bask in the glow of quiet, the bask in the glow of quiet, and not to be so nervous. Actually, you're being asked to find out why you're so nervous. Ask yourself why you're so nervous. What is it about these changes that make you so that make you so weak, and like weak in the knees, I guess. You're not definitely not a weak person. But I'm just getting like, do not be scared, do not be nervous. You're gonna be okay. It's fine. There's a lot of changes, a lot of shifts happening in your life. And so I'm just getting that instead of being nervous, just embrace the reality of the situation and just move forward. Move forward. Okay. So that's all I have for the intuitive message for Pisces. If that resonated with you in any way, shape, or form, by all means, give that thumbs up and click on that thumb. Also subscribe to the channel so you'll never miss another episode of this inner child series. So inner child energy series rather. And so I don't know, like today is actually a pretty chill day. It's like Monday, but it doesn't feel like that. You know what I mean? It feels like a Sunday, to be honest with you. So whoever is popping on, I hope you're doing it. I hope you're having a good rest of the day. I know it's almost only like 2:20 where I am, but depending on where you are in the world, your day will just be getting started. So I'm going to jump into this cards real quick. So what I'm going to do is pull a card for the collective, the inner child energy, the Pisces collective anyway. What archetype? What I like to do is pull from the archetype cards right here to start off with, to determine what archetype represents Pisces for the month of November. So, dear Spirit, what archetype represents the inner child for Pisces, whether they're born under the moon sign, rising sign, sun sign, or Venus, for the month of November? What archetype represents? All right. So what we oh wow. So what we got here is a father. I don't know if we got this beforehand, but we definitely we got the father today. At least Pisces got the father today. And so the light attributes are talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit, and then the shadow attributes is dictatorial control, abuse of authority. Oh wow. So what does it say about Pisces? So what I'm getting from this card straight up and flat out Pisces is that when you were a child, I'm just getting that you were very much an authority figure or wanted to be an authority figure in some way, shape, or form. I'm still getting that for the most part. Um, there is definitely a father energy coming from this card. So that tells me right there that you are either close to your father or wanted to be close to your father in some way, shape, or form. I'm getting some of it in. I'm getting daddy's girl for some people. Even though the cards are not exactly about gender or that there is no energy, or gender. I don't know why I'm having like such a hard time talking today. It's very much genderless energy. But what I'm getting from this card is straight up flat out a daddy's girl. Okay, a lot of that's what it was. I pulled this for my Instagram account last week. So basically, what I'm getting is that some of y'all are very attached to your fathers, very attached to the masculine energy of your father. You saw them as very much as a protector, and as a result, looked up to them significantly. You looked up to your father. They seem to have all the answers. They seem to be omnipotent. They seem to be almighty. They seem to be the one who could fix anything and everything. And so you either wanted to be like that when you grew up, or you wanted to have that energy to be around you at all times where you grew up. And so what from this is that when it came to your father or your relationship with your father, Pisces, on one hand, you love the fact that I'm just getting like he was a great storyteller. I have like I'm getting like for the most part you had um father or a parent or a male body individual who acted as a parent. I'm getting that they were very much of not only a protector but very much a storyteller. They were ones to basically tell you a lot of stories and do something to entertain you, and it was like they used their power of words to either understand you or to entertain you in some way, shape, or form. So I would not be surprised at all they were an author themselves, or maybe they were just really good at writing or just telling you a story in some way, shape, or form. And so that was another. I just see um, like just a vision of them like telling you a bedtime story or something of that nature. And basically acting out a lot of the stories that they were telling you, and some of them like, were pretty much made up. That's what I'm getting. And you were like lying in bed at night, listening to these stories and giggling and stuff like that. So basically, you knew just based on how they acted towards you. They were basically they used their words to demonstrate their power. Okay, but what I'm also getting to that in some cases, a lot of for you Pisces, that your father, in some way, shape, or form, or a male body individual who acted as a father figure, they seem to use their words to cut you down as well. And it weren't very, um, it was like in a very subtle way. Like it didn't seem as if, they were cutting you down or saying something mean to you because they did it in a loving tone. They did it and they used certain words, and did certain things, that most abusers wouldn't do. Um, I'm just getting that, in a soft voice, they told you were doing something wrong, or in a very gentle tone, they told you ate too much, or in a very or maybe in a so-called loving way. They weren't yelling or screaming at you, but basically, they used a certain tone, basically, to say that something, there was just something they didn't agree with when it came to you, and so it caused a lot of confusion. It definitely caused a lot of confusion, and it caused a lot of, uh, within you, because you're like, um, what they said was hurtful, but at the same time, um, they didn't yell or scream. They didn't just do anything abusive. So what ended up happening is that you kind of internalized a lot of that confusion. Okay, so I'm just getting straight up and flat out like this is one of the reasons why, I'm just getting as an adult, one of the reasons why you probably had issues determining whether or not someone was abusing you or not, or using their words to manipulate you or not, because of the tone of voice they used. Okay, so that's what I'm getting from this. Um, yeah, I'm not getting that he was necessarily like outwardly rude to you. What I'm getting, uh, Pisces, is that your father was very loving and very tender with his words. He used that love and tenderness to like as a weapon. And I'm getting that he did this unknowingly. Like he did this unknowingly, or they did this unknowingly, depending on your gender, your your gender identity or whatnot. Um, I'm just getting that a lot of it took a lot, excuse me, for your father to actually, outwardly go off on you. I can only count on one hand how many times they have done this. Okay, I'm just getting that it was for them. It was a more generational thing. It was um, not exactly something that they did purposefully. Their parents did that to them, and so that's their only way of parenting. Okay, so what issues did Pisces, the father? or the child of the father faced as a child. For the Pisces, what type of hey, how you doing? Oh, wow, okay. Let's put that in there real quick. All right. So what I got here was the Queen of Swords. I'm not getting like to be honest with you. I feel like the what this is saying is that you're way closer. Like those two, born under the Pisces sign, you're way closer to your the male individual in your family, your father or a male body individual, who acted as your father, than your mom. I'm getting or the stepmom or whatever. I'm just getting that you did not jive well with her or them. You did not jive well with them at all. Like you did not have anything in common with them. You felt like they were more critical because their criticism of you was outwardly. It was outwardly. You know what I mean? Or is it outwardly? Yeah, there you go. But basically, they were very blunt about how they felt about you. If they didn't like something, they didn't sugarcoat it. If you did something wrong, they let you know about it. It's as if like you wanted to like I just feel like you felt like the two of you were the complete opposites, but what I'm getting is that you two were very much the same, which is why you didn't like each other. You understand? Y'all didn't like each other at all. Like there was you and your mom or that you were always butting heads. I'm getting like you two were always butting heads in some way, shape, or form. There was always some sort of discord. There was always a clash of energies. And what I'm getting is that your father actually softened the blow. You went to them, when you needed something or wanted something. Because what ended up happening is that when you went to your mom, you got a lecture, or you got some sort of pushback, as in regards to your personality. In some cases, possibly your gender, the way you dressed, the way you acted, some way, shape, or something like that. They were very blunt about it, and because of their bluntness, okay, because of their bluntness, you did not jive with them whatsoever. That's what I'm getting with the Queen of Swords. Yeah, like your mother was very. I'm just getting like, yeah, y'all did not jive. She was very stubborn, and so are you. Okay, and you were like at the time as a child, you were one of those people who did not like to be told what to do. You did not like to be told that you could not do something. If that were the case, as far as people telling you what you could not do, you did everything you could to not. Um, you did the complete opposite of what they said. You know what I mean? You were very feisty and you were very but you were very gentle at the same time. Yeah, I'm definitely getting like a stubbornness with you, Pisces, as far as your child and you and your mom, y'all butted heads. There was always some sort of standoff. Okay, I'm also getting the Eight of Pentacles. I'm getting that money or like money in your household was an issue. Money in your household was an issue. The people were working, always toiling away, always saving. But I just felt like there was no time for that connection, like that family connection that you wanted to have with your parents. They were always. I'm just getting like what is considered working class. I'm not getting poor. I'm not getting like below the poverty line. Even though that could be the case, it's definitely not upper class or middle class. There is no middle class anymore, as far as I'm concerned. But what I'm getting is that you came from a working class family, um, and everything was done in modesty, as far as how y'all spent, how you spent money, bills were being paid, so on and so forth. I'm also getting too that this is possibly one of the reasons why you and your mother did not get along, because you as a child just wanted to have money in your hands, and so you were always being told to save money, preserve money. Do you have McDonald's money? Do you have this, that, and the third? You know what I mean? Do you have that money? Do you We got food in the house. Be hungry then. You ain't hungry. You're not that hungry then. That's what I'm getting from this. And so I'm just getting that caused like it didn't cause that didn't bother you as much as being told no. That no, you have that constant reminder that you were struggling financially. I'm getting that you were just tired of being told of the worry about money all the time. So I'm just getting like this could be one of the reasons why you are um, often like also worried about money as an adult. I'm getting as a child there was always some sort of issue around poverty or around not having enough, okay, or having to save stuff for a rainy day. But in actuality, you there were times when you wanted to splurge. This is one of the reasons why you and your mom again did not get along, and possibly one of the reasons I'm getting like for any money matters that you had or something you needed, you got that from your father. You did not get that from your mom at all because you did not want to lecture about money. She was the one, to be honest with you, she was the one who was always saving things and making sure that money was saved some way, shape, or form. Your father was a lot more lackadaisical with their finances. It would not surprise me at all if there was some sort of argument around money or some sort of argument around you doing too much as far as money or something like that, or him or they as far as who played the role of the father. It doesn't surprise me at all if they argued about his spending habits or their spending habits. Okay, does not it would not surprise me at all. And um, yeah, you did not take that seriously at all. And I'm also getting the change card. Not the change card. What am I doing? This is the transformation card. This is also the death card right here. And what I'm getting from this right here is that like there was a huge shift in your life. Something happened to where maybe there was like a split in the family household or something major happened. Your parents divorced. I'm getting your parents divorced. Why are they divorced? Irreconcilable differences. The two of them were just like okay. I'm also getting like somebody was cheated on. Someone was cheated on. I'm getting that the marriage was falling apart because people were unhappy. Um, and this affected you emotionally, of course. I'm just getting that somebody was cheated on. Your mom was cheated on. I'm just getting it happened. Um, it was a long time coming. It was a long time coming. It was such a blow. You're like, I'm just getting either your mother suspected, okay, your mother suspected what was going on, or she found out some way, shape, or form, through an argument. Either way, Pisces. What I'm getting is that there was some sort of infidelity, and basically like it shifted your perception of marriage. And definitely shifted your perception of what a family is. Okay, because I'm just getting that straight up and flat out. Like your father was the more lackadaisical one. It would not be. It doesn't surprise me at all that they were the ones who like actually like cheated. They actually the ones who stepped out of marriage because they were tired of the mundane. What they considered the mundane. They were really tired of being told what to do. They were being tired of being. They're also like they've been like they were just tired of being treated. They did not grow up. Basically, like the father of you know did not grow up at all. Okay, you learned like all your fun and all the things that you used to do for fun and what you do for fun, you got that from him. Like that's where you got that from. And so I'm getting that he ended up leaving the house too. He was the one who ended up leaving. And so what ended up happening is that this is when because I'm getting that he was the breadwinner of the family. Okay, I don't know whether like, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like I don't know whether or not this like constitute through like throughout ages. Time is not linear. Okay, so for all I know, I could be getting this from either this century or the 20th century, maybe like the 1940s or 50s. I feel like this is like 1940s, maybe 50s or something like that, as far as like this message. But it could also be somewhere else, like here in the 21st century too. But what I am getting is that somebody's having a memory or a flashback or something about how it was in their childhood in the 1940s or 50s, where you know the father was the breadwinner, and the mother was the one who stayed at home. I'm getting that your mom was the one who stayed at home. Either way, it definitely affected them. Affected you, Pisces, when your dad left the house. So what ended up happening is that y'all struggled for a minute. You struggled. You're like y'all struggled because he like this is actually the Five of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles is about doors shutting, opportunities lost. You know, um, and basically being pushed away from an opportunity that you were looking for. The dog in here is gatekeeping. So basically what this happened is that y'all there was a lot of obstacles that happened as a result of dad leaving. Okay. Like it was really hard for you. When did this happen? Like how old were you when this happened? I'm getting around 7 or 8 years old. 7 or 8 years old when this happened. When your father left you, left home, did not leave any sort of money whatsoever. Okay. And so what ended up happening is that you and your mom struggled. You and your mom struggled. There was no child support or anything like that. I'm not getting that. Okay. I'm not getting that at all. However, I'm just yeah, you really like you and your mom struggled not only financially, but you struggled with like as far as the power dynamic too. You know what I mean? Like you and like the whole house, the whole atmosphere of the house shifted after he left. Now you had to deal with one another. Okay, now you have to deal with one another, and your mother is pretty much stressed out. I'm getting that as a child, you watched your mom be stressed out over bills, stressed out over money. I see her like I'm just getting her sitting at a table and crying because she's seeing yet another bill that she's unable to pay. He really did not leave y'all. I don't think I'm really am getting he didn't leave you very much. Okay, like she's heavily relying on family members, heavily relying on people on the outside to help because the way things were are not able to be that way any longer, Pisces. Um what is this magician card for? I'm getting that you're like this is you trying to figure out what to do here. What you like you're like some sort of miracle had to happen. Okay. Your mother had the tendency to like make things uh make things happen, so you can have like a roof over your head. I'm also getting to like you were really hoping for someone or something to shift or something to happen. You were kind of waiting for your dad to come back, but you were waiting on something to change. You were waiting on a miracle. That's what it was. You were waiting on some sort of miracle, to take place. Because what ended up happening, like you're like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? The magician is usually one who's an alchemist. They make things happen. Okay, but what I'm getting from here is like this was a time for you to at this time, as a child, you were asking yourself, what do we do here? That's the energy I'm getting from this card. A lot of confusion. Okay, I'm not seeing or getting any ill will towards the father at all. Okay, I'm also getting like you were telling yourself that you would never leave if you were to be a father yourself, you would never leave them in this situation. Thank you. This is what I'm also getting to, that you would never leave them in this situation. You will make the best out of nothing. Thank you. You will make the best out of it. You will make the best out of the situation instead of just leaving. Um, instead of just leaving. As much as you weren't able to get along with your mom, I'm also getting twos, Pisces, that you were not hoping that your father would do something like this. Okay, you were really like hoping that your father loved you enough. Okay, to either stick it out or to at least leave you with something, so that you and your mom wouldn't struggle. So you pretty much told yourself, like, I'm not doing this. I would never do this to my children if I were to be a father. Okay. Let's see. We don't. Yeah. Mm, okay. This is like during your teenage, is it? Yeah, I'm sorry. This is around like you were around 8 or 9. You and your mom had to leave your house because the bills were not being paid. This is a tower card. So basically, what is that because of you were unable to, your mother was unable to pay bills. What ended up happening is that y'all had to leave the house. You had to leave your childhood home. There was no way she would have been able to afford that or to afford the home that y'all were living in. It was just too much. At this point, you haven't even seen your dad. Like, he straight up and flat out disappeared. At least for now, anyway. I'm not seeing that like he came back to visit or he came to see how the two of you were doing. What I'm just getting is that he like when he dipped, and he's completely out of the picture. So that really affected. Again, you told yourself, I am not going to do this to my children. I am not going to do this to anyone that I care about or love. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, y'all had to live. I'm getting that you had to live with other people, maybe like in an apartment complex or with like your parents. Either way, like I'm not getting that y'all were out on the street or anything like that, but I'm definitely getting that your mom did the best that she could, or the best that they could under the circumstances. At this time, I'm not getting that you had siblings either. You were the only child, which is which is actually a good thing for, at least for now. You were the only child. So it was just pretty much the two of you going through all this stuff. Okay, there are no siblings involved, no cousins or anybody living with you. So it's pretty much you and your mom struggling financially like this. So you actually have to live with somebody that you cared that she knew. And I'm getting either maybe like she didn't want to leave. She really didn't. You know what I mean? She didn't want to downsize at all, but she had to. For the both of your for the both of you, you wouldn't have been able to do anything otherwise. Okay, but it was actually what I'm getting is that it was actually a blessing in disguise because she could start over. Okay, yeah, there was no money saved up. There was no money saved up, so she could definitely start over. That's the King of Pentacles right there, upside down. Yeah. Yeah, this was got the hangman upside down. Like your mom, believe it or not, this was a blessing in disguise because it got her to not be so hesitant about what she became a stronger person as a result of this. This is what the energy I'm getting. She as a result of this divorce and as a result of staying with somebody, being on her own 2 feet, she was able to become a stronger person. Okay, a much stronger person, and now be heavily reliant on your father. So what ended up happening is that you saw her strength, and y'all actually started to get along. Okay, I'm getting like you were like at least 11 or 12 at this point. Okay, wherever you were staying, you were there for quite some time. Okay, at this point, your mom is possibly like had a job or was able to get some sort of employment, so she's not able to get her own place to stay. Okay, she was actually really glad to get the support. You know what I mean, and you were able to get the support as well. I'm also getting to that at this time, like you're definitely becoming your own person. You've always been your own person anyway, Pisces. But what I'm also getting you're actually growing into a fine young individual. You know, I'm really am getting like whether you yeah, it's just like right now, like you're definitely just standing on your own 2 feet and trying to survive in every way, shape, or form. I'm still getting for some odd reason that this is from another era. Like the reading is for somebody who was um, who was a 12-year old in the 1940s or 50s. That's what I'm getting. I'm seeing like in my mind, I'm seeing a lot of um, I'm definitely not seeing this era, feeling this particular decade in 2019, which is weird. Oh well, like I said, time is not linear. All right. So how is Pisces affected as a team? Oops, all these cards fell out. Maybe that's me having to. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm getting here, because a whole bunch of cards fell out, is that this is actually the Page of Swords. You're a very, very, very quick learn and a very intellectual individual. At this point, I'm getting like 14, maybe 15 years of age. And because of what you've been through, Pisces, what I'm getting is that you learned how to just basically stand on your own 2 feet and remain sharp. You're a very quick learn. You're always very willing to learn. And you learn from experiences. You don't learn from just doing. You learn from what you see as well. So you saw basically how your mother was treated, you know, as a divorced individual. You saw the trial and tribulation she's been through, and you definitely told yourself, like, look, I'm definitely going to make it out of here. I'm definitely going to find another way for the both of us. I'm definitely going to find another way. You have and you even told yourself, like, if I have children, I'm going to make sure they are very much taken care of and they are loved and cherished. Again, at this point, you do not see your father. Your father is like he dipped so hard. So around this time, you have not even seen him since the divorce. You have not seen him in years. Okay, and so you're like how you're affected is that you're like you became stronger to a fault. It's to the point where you don't allow people to get close to you. You don't allow people to know like who you are and where you are emotionally or mentally. You're just in survival mode. I feel like you feel as if you have to keep going. For your own sake, you are to keep going. And so as a result of that, a lot of people are um, a lot of people tend to assume that you're okay. When in actuality, there's a lot of anger and a lot of discord you have. Um, in regards to how your father just disappeared. Okay. I'm also getting the Eight of Swords here. Um, Again, I'm just getting this notion that you are. Uh, yeah, I'm just getting. You don't put yourself in situation. You told yourself you were not going to put yourself in a situation mentally. You always feel like there's a way out. You don't. I'm just getting straight up and flat out. You would not allow yourself to feel trapped. You don't allow yourself to feel trapped. You don't allow yourself to feel any sort of defeat whatsoever. Okay, because again, you saw what happened with your mom. You saw what happened. How she handles things. Even like, regardless of how upset she was able to keep going. Okay, she was able to get the support, and so you definitely got this notion that, you know what, I'm never going to be trapped. Never am I trapped. Your mom, you have respect for her because she could have just wallowed and said, I can't do anything for myself. But when you saw what she was capable of, you saw what she was capable of and how she was able to survive and live despite all that happened. So, what I'm getting from this is that as a teen, you're like, you had dreams of your own. You would not allow yourself to be trapped in any way, shape, or form. None whatsoever. If anything, like I said, I feel like a determination. You're very determined, Pisces, to get to have a better situation for yourself. A better situation. Okay. Yeah. You also developed this is a temperance card. And what I got is that you're already making plans for yourself at this young age as a teen. You already, like I said, you already have dreams and aspirations for yourself at this time. I'm getting that you, yeah, you're pretty much ready to have a life of your own, and you're ready to fly, and you know that, like, at the same time, you know that there's hard work that has to be done. Okay, you're learning the importance of patience. You're learning the importance of wisdom. You're learning the importance of moving in silence. You're basically understanding that um, everything that you get, it comes from. I'm just getting like a hard work ethic from you. Like, it's really hard. It's like, if you work hard enough, or if you were to just focus on the goal at hand, you'll everything else will fall into place. Everything else will fall into place. I'm just getting like, you know what? That's probably what it is. I'm getting like an old soul type of situation with you as well at this time. Like, you've matured because of what happened, and so you no longer feel as if people have to give you things anymore. You work for it. You work for it. You earn what you get. You earn, whether it be respect, or something material such as money, or whatever you're working towards, you work towards that. No one gives it to you, and no one gets it, like, just gives you a handout. That's what I'm getting. Um, in fact, it's really hard at this point, because you're so independent, and you're so used to getting things on your own. You feel like it's really hard for you to ask for help. It's very hard for you to ask for help, Pisces. The reason being is that you've been on your own for so long. Okay, you've been on your own. The Queen of Cups is basically like she's a very much of a person who is not only nice, but she's not one to deal and play with. She's very strong. She's very strong minded, and that's how you are. Okay, I'm getting this is your. I'm also getting like a mother energy from this. The Queen of Cups is pretty much your either your mom, or somebody you know, or another woman that you know. I'm just getting that this person is very supportive, very strong, very kind, and I'm also getting to that you really like her. Okay, I don't know whether or not this person is like your mom, but I'm getting like a love and an adoration for her. So what is that about? I'm getting this high school sweetheart type of situation. She's a high school sweetheart there you go. She reminds you of your mom. She reminds you of your mom. She reminds you of the she just reminds you just simply because she's a hard worker. This person is a hard worker. This person is very emotional and also like can handle your stubbornness. Very sweet and very kind and kind hearted. Um, and you really enjoy being around her. So it does not surprise me at all if she is like she ends up being a girlfriend or being a wife or whatnot. But I'm just getting like you really care deeply about her. Okay, yeah, I'm getting a lot of proms and a lot of time y'all have together. Okay, yeah, like, and you told yeah you're not one. Um, this is actually the five of swords upside down, and what I'm getting from this card is that you're still angry about what happened between you and your dad. You're still extremely angry. You don't like the fact that he took off the way he did, and I feel like you. I'm just getting the way that he did things was completely unnecessary. That completely unnecessary. And to be honest with you, and I should go back to yeah this person, whoever it is, like, whether it be like there was no gender, but I'm definitely getting like a feminine energy from this card, or basically a kind of the energy of a kind-hearted person. Um, so it's like the reason why I brought that up is because I just have this feeling like you feel like with everything that's going on in your life, like you're this other person included, you don't like the fact that your father missed out on that. So there's a lot of there's definitely some father energy here, like a resentment. Like there was no need for him to go on, or there was no need for them to leave. There was just no need for them to do that. No need whatsoever. Like there was no need for them to just take off and not be in your life. So there's a lot of if you're anger, like a lot of that anger stems from that sense of abandonment because you have not at this point you haven't seen him in years. You're close to being a grown person, and they have not seen you or any trajectory, of your life or anything affecting you in years. And so, as a result, there is a sort of resentment. Like I'm like, to be honest with you, Pisces, I'm mad for you because I'm like, you have like, there's a beautiful future here. Like I'm seeing like, as a teen, you were despite all that happened, you're very well adjusted. Most people, who don't have a dad in their life, they can go either way. But you basically said like, look, I will have a better life for myself. Okay, a better life for myself. I'm not going to do this to mom. I'm not going to do this to my kids when I have them. I'm not doing this. Okay, they will have a better life than you know, than this, and they had no, um, like they don't know what type of person you've become. Okay, they don't know. So also, you got the Six of Pentacles here upside down. As a result of your father now being part of your life or having that resentment, or towards your dad, I'm just getting that you don't have the patience for him. I'm just getting like it'll be a hard time. It will be hard for you to forgive him or them. It will be hard for you to forgive them. I see you harboring a resentment for a while because of that. They left. I'm just getting to they literally left you no child support whatsoever, like none. They don't. They can't even afford to work with you financially. Like you're more or less upset by the fact that um at this point, like in your life, like I'm getting like with this card, like 18, 19 years of age, because you're about to leave high school. Like you did everything on your own. You did everything on your own. You didn't ask for any sort of help from them. And as a result, like forgiveness, I don't know if that is, you definitely don't feel that way, okay, towards him. I don't even, at this point, you don't even want to reconcile. You feel as if you don't know them. You feel as if you don't know your dad. So, Spirit, how is the client affected as an adult? How is Pisces affected by this father energy or lack thereof as an adult? How are they affected as an adult? Wow. Okay. So basically, what ends up happening is that, like, you show up for people. This is the sun. So as a result of the way your father has treated you and how you left, what ends up happening is that you show up for people now. You learn you learn that what happens when you are not a beacon of hope in someone's life. This is basically you being the sun. This is basically you, showing up in the world and basically saying, I am going to be different. I'm just seeing like I'm going to be different. That's what I'm getting. Like you are affected by saying like, look, there's still that anger towards your father, but you're like, I'm going to be different. And so you show up in the world different. You do everything you can to be the complete opposite of who your father was. I'm getting you're the complete opposite of that person. You're actually, excuse me, or you're wanting to be a beacon of hope for whoever is around you. I'm also getting too that you're very protective and very loving of kids. Like you want children of your own. As an adult, you are looking for to have children of your own. I'm getting at this point like late 20s, early 30s. Okay, I'm getting like you did a lot of growing pains, a lot of growing up, and I'm just getting like as an adult, you're like you've been through it. You won't allow your past to get the best of you. Okay, you don't allow you become the father. You become the beacon of hope for children. I don't know whether or not you start working with children or you just like play with children in the neighborhood. But what I'm getting is that you are basically that big brother, that father that you never had. Okay, you definitely become a beacon of hope for children. Pisces, I think you're the shit. Like for real, like you're dope. You could have gone like a whole different way. You could have gone like a whole different direction, but you said I'm going to be a beacon of hope for children. So a lot of kids may come to you, you know, as that father, that brother, that sibling, you know, or that to be that surrogate mom or to be the surrogate parent. You're that surrogate parent or that surrogate um, sibling or that beacon of hope. Okay, like I want you to understand that like you are helping so many kids who are being abused right now or being neglected right now, and you know how that is because you know what it's like to feel as if um, someone left home because they may not care for you or whatnot. You know what it's like, so you relate to a lot of the kids that you work with. I'm also getting that you are married at this point. This is the lover's card. Whomever you, oops, you married your high school sweetheart. You married somebody who, like, I'm just getting like a really uh, old soulmate energy. So you definitely got married, and you're ready to start a family of your own. You're ready to start a family. Like, I just, oh my god, like you have a whole life. Okay, you have a whole life. Like this person stayed with you, stuck with you. Um, they love you through thick and thin. Y'all have been with each other through thick and thin, and y'all now are. I'm just getting like you have a marriage. You're going to be married to this person. I really am getting like again late 20s, early 30s. No, actually mid 20s. Mid 20s is when you get married. Yeah, mid to late 20s you get married because you wanted to experience the world first before you settle down. And to be honest with you, you have not been with anybody else. It's been with this one person. But yeah, y'all definitely gonna have a life of your own. Yeah, the Ace of Pentacles. I'm still like again like getting some money stuff with you. Um, I don't. I'm getting this thing like money is also an issue with you. Um, so I'm getting like some like conflicting stuff. On one hand, you want to be good with money. Okay. At the same time, that's what it is. Thank you. You're good with money, and you're a bit of a penny pincher. Your mother, you got that from your mom. You now know the value of money. You now know the value of what happens when you don't get it. You're really weary of not having it in case something happens. There's another fear of not having. There's a fear of not making enough or having enough. Okay, to support your family or to support, your mom or whomever needs it because of what happened to you in your childhood. Okay, money is a huge issue with you as far as keeping it in your hands, or it brings up some issues around how money was treated, how money was treated when you were a kid. And money is an energy. Okay, so what ends up happening is that you're really careful. You're really careful with money at this point. All right, all right. So what can Pisces do to honor their inner child? All right. So what I got here is the Two of Swords. All right, and what I'm getting is that um, they are to. I'm getting like decision making. Okay, around forgiveness and around whether or not they are to forgive their father, and basically, um, what I'm getting from this card too is that they don't have to make a decision right away as far as forgiveness. Okay, there's there doesn't have to be any reconciliation. There doesn't have to be a conversation around how the father was. I'm just getting like there is to be no decision in regards to how the father is treated, or how um, they are to treat their father. There doesn't have to be any sort of reconciliation. And it's pretty much up to them how. Um, it's pretty much up to them as to how the father is supposed to be treated. All right. Yeah, yeah. I'm just getting like, and also I got the emperor, the empress. Excuse me. And what I'm getting is that you're like, ask you know what? That's what it is. When it comes to your inner child, basically tell your inner child that it's okay for you to not um, forgive your father right away. It's okay for you to be angry about what happened. It's okay for you to be angry about what their father or whatever parent. It's okay for you to be angry and not to make that decision as to whether or not they are to forgive. Okay, you are not to be pressured um, into feeling something you don't. Okay, and so as a result of that, forgive knowing that you if there is some aspect of forgiveness, know that there is no reconciliation, or reconciliation isn't necessary. Okay, and I'm also getting the emperor, and what I'm getting is that from the emperor card, to be more like, I'm getting like money and creativity and being business savvy. So basically what I'm getting is that it's okay for you to like hang on to money and to have a future. It's okay for you to save. It's okay for you to um, it's okay for you to have money in your hands. It's okay for you to like save things for a rainy day. I'm also getting to that it's okay to acknowledge that your mom helped, either trying to help you with money or did not spoil you in some way, shape, or form. Okay, they did not spoil you in any way, shape, or form. Because like I'm just getting like when it came to money and when it came to how money was handled, your mom did the right thing by saving things, by counting every penny. And so it's thank her for what happened, thank her and honor her. Okay, so let me see what words of encouragement. What words of encouragement do you have for the oops, you have for the adult? All right, so I got the heart of sky. The heart of sky. It's a beautiful card. It's upside down. I'm getting for you Pisces to know to know yourself, to know your part in this world, to know that what happened to you, it was for the greater good. Okay, know that it was for the greater good. Know that there was a purpose around the fact that there was a purpose behind why your father left. There was a purpose behind why you went through what you went through. I'm getting that you wondered why your father left and wondered why this stuff was going on is because he had to learn his own lessons. And so what I'm getting from the Heart of Sky card is that be aware that you were a part of his lesson. Be aware you were part of his lesson and he was a part of yours. And because of the way things went down between the two of you, or because of your, how he treated you or whatnot, you became a better person because of it. I'm not saying that you had to go through trauma in order to, because that's a traumatic thing. Divorce can be traumatic. Okay. But what I'm also getting to is that as far as this, is that your father was the basically like your lesson. Okay. And because of what he did, you were able to see that look, there is definitely a better way to treat other people, a better way to treat children than to walk out and never see them again. Okay, so you learn to be a better person because of it. Okay, and you know, you know better. So that is all I have for Pisces. The inner child for Pisces. If you like that video in any way, shape, or form, please, give a thumbs up. Also, you can follow the Bowtie Psychic YouTube channel by subscribing so you'll never miss another video. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Um, and if you would like to give a donation, you can go and do so by clicking on the Hobby of the Medium link, the PayPal link. All that will be in the descriptions. So yeah, that's all I have for as far as announcements. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I really appreciate it. And until next time, peace.